Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. Each week, my guest and I discuss one pivotal moment in their life, what they learned from it, and their words of wisdom. For our guest today, two pivotal moments reshaped everything. One professional, one deeply personal, and both were sparked by the same choice: to lean into fear and discomfort and say yes to opportunity. The first began in a Starbucks, talking to a friend, and a stranger nearby who couldn't help but listen gave an unexpected offer to help. What started as a single golf clinic became a passion project designed to help more women say yes to golf. Today, that idea has grown into a company that has impacted the lives of more than 30,000 women. The second turning point was far more personal. This is a conversation about trusting yourself, leaning into discomfort, and making decisions through one simple filter: not wanting to live with regret. Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. I am so glad that you are here with us today, and I would like to introduce today's guest, Lindsay Knowlton. So Lindsay is a golf professional and the founder of Iron Lady Golf, which is a company founded on getting more women into the game of golf. And she will tell you an amazing story of actually where this all came from. So Lindsay, welcome to the podcast. So glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So good. So you and I have known each other a long time. Our paths have crossed, well, for a long, long time through the golf industry. And I have watched you and your career from being an amateur to starting Iron Lady. And it's been amazing to watch what you have created. So really happy that you found time. Thankfully, it's the winter.
Yes.
Things are not yet started with the golf business. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited and I'm honored. Thank you for including me.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So this podcast is all anchored on one question, which is, what is one pivotal moment in your life? And the reason that I chose that question was, first of all, it's a very universal thing in that everybody has got pivotal moments in their life. Some are within their control and some are not. Some are sort of imposed on us. And having gone through multiple pivotal moments in my life, found that there can be times when you're going through a pivot and you think, I'm the only person in the world who's ever gone through this. And there can be this sense of loneliness, when in reality, when you start speaking about it, that there's an entire community of people out there who could help you, who you could learn from. And so I wanted to create this platform to allow people to share their stories so that others could understand that they're not alone and also learn from some incredible stories. So that's what we're doing here today.
Yeah, I love it.
So let me ask you, Lindsay, what is that one pivotal moment in your life?
I remember when you sent me the email and this was going to be the question that I had to answer. And I had two that jumped out for me personally. And so obviously many different little twists and turns, but I think, one was professional and one was personal. And so I think, from the professional lens and starting Iron Lady, this was not a business. This did not start as a business. This started as, growing up, playing golf, having all these amazing competitive experiences, then deciding, okay, it's time to, in my parents' words, get a real job.
Yes.
And so off to get my first real job, and then really having a chance to connect with my friends and my colleagues and my mom's friends and sister's friends, and realizing that so many of those women didn't know how to say yes to golf. It was scary. It was intimidating. They didn't know where to start. And more importantly, they felt that they were being left out of something, left out of work opportunities and building those connections, left out of figuring out how to retire with their spouse and share, a common activity. And so I remember sitting in Starbucks one day and I was talking to one of my best friends and I was saying to her, it's so funny. I keep having these conversations about women that want to learn how to play golf. And I think I just want to figure out how to help them say yes. And they don't have to be really good at golf. They just have to get over the no and turn it into a yes. And it was the days of the long harvest tables pre-COVID. And there was a gentleman sitting there working away on his computer. And he definitely was looking over. He definitely kept looking. And I remember he finally leaned in and he said, I have been eavesdropping on this whole conversation and I love this. You need to call me. And so that was just this unbelievable turning point. And I remember thinking to myself, like, who is this guy? And I flipped over his card and he was a senior VP at Manulife. And I think more than that, he was an amazing human that recognized something in what I was saying. And I called him the next day and I said, it's the Starbucks lady. And, he said, well, that's wonderful. Come down and I'm going to help you out. But we're going to basically I'd love if you'd give a lunch and learn to all of my female employees on Bloor Street about leaning into fear and discomfort and saying yes to an opportunity. And you're going to use all of your golf anecdotes and stories to sort of tell and frame your talk and share it with my group. And so what an amazing human this is. And I'm sort of just dumbfounded. Like, what am I going to do? And he was so encouraging that I thought, okay, I guess I'm going to do it. So I marched down to Bloor Street and give my little talk. And then it turns into, this is great. Now we want to learn how to play golf.
Okay.
But you would know this quite well. Playing golf versus teaching golf is two totally different skill sets.
Absolutely.
And so I remember calling up back in the day, there was a golf professional and her name was Mary Jane Hall and she was at Toronto Ladies Club.
Yes, she was.
Yep. And I took her out for dinner at Milestones at Yorkdale. And I said, Mary Jane, I've got this idea and would you consider, hosting us at your club and you can teach the golf and I'll sort of teach the how to show up and say yes. And she was like, absolutely. And a really amazing, open person to do this. Luckily, and at the very end of that very first clinic, the group said to me, wow, that wasn't so bad. Now what? And I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, there is no now what? Like nothing exists. This whole thing doesn't exist. But of course, that's not the answer. So at that very moment, I thought, okay, well, we're going to run 4-week clinics. And then at the end of those 4-week clinics, it was now what? And then what would make sense? We should go on course. Let's do 9-hole lessons. And then what would make sense? They wanted to go away on a trip. And then that turned into, after that, it was golf league. So it was really just all in all, this unbelievable domino effect and community that started to get built one by one over time. And so the next product evolved because I just listened to what was needed and sort of saw in the community what might make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I did know about the Starbucks conversation, but the rest, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was really neat thinking back now. And I don't think I knew what it was ever going to be.
Okay.
It was really just following one foot in front of the other.
Okay.
And my own version of saying yes, my own version of feeling incredibly uncomfortable to do some kind of public speaking at Manulife.
Right.
And then figure out how to run a golf clinic. And so a little bit of definite imposter syndrome in all of those moments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you also had a job.
I had a job. Totally had a job. This wasn't my job. This was
not.
just a side fun passion project.
Right. And so at some point Iron Lady is large. It's a large self-sustaining business now.
It's a very full-time business.
It's a very full-time business.
Yeah.
So when did you make at some point you must have sat down and said, hold on a second, I'm probably going to need to do this wholeheartedly.
So I had a full-time job at the beginning.
Okay.
So Iron Lady really started probably about 13 years, like Starbucks was about 13 years ago.
Okay.
And then about 5 years ago was when I went all in full-time on Iron Lady. But, the bridge between it was hard because a few things were at play. First of all, I really wasn't making any money or significant money. I wouldn't have been able to live my life and turn the lights on. So I had a full-time job and this was just a side thing. And then my next step was I had a half-time full-time job. So I worked 3 days a week at a company and then 2 days a week with Iron Lady. And then I really reached a point where I felt like I was doing the splits with
Yes.
2 feet in 2 canoes, and I wasn't doing either job well. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to live with regret. And if I don't at least try Iron Lady full time, I'll never know what
Right.
maybe it could be.
Right.
And I can always go back and get a real job somewhere doing something.
Yes.
So that was kind of what kicked me into gear to say, and at that point I was close enough to
Yes.
making enough money. So it felt a little bit easier, a little less risky to make the leap to go full-time all in. So yeah, so basically 5 years ago was kind of that like monumental moment of being like, this is my job and only job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking the leap.
Taking the leap. And the other thing I might mention is, the rise of golf simulators. So
Yes.
obviously we live in Canada, there's actually 7 feet of snow outside right now, but there was no golf simulators back then. So the business would open at the beginning of May and close, at the beginning of October.
Right.
Now there's a little bit more we can do in the wintertime with simulators. So right now we have clinics running, we have golf leagues running, and it's all indoors. In a week, I'm taking a group to Casa de Campo, away on a golf trip. So that's a huge part of what we offer as well. So it feels like things are still moving.
Okay.
And then crazy enough, all of our summer league programming went on sale at the beginning of January. So it really is sort of full 365 now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so walk us through everything that Iron Lady offers now versus its infancy.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned at the very beginning, everything was born out of a need. So I remember when we were doing these golf clinics, it was really quite cute, but the only way that women were doing and playing and consuming golf was by coming to my chipping lesson and coming to my driving. And finally, I sort of had to boot them out of the nest and say, like, you need to go play golf. But there was a lot of fear in how do I even do that? How do I make tee times? How do I find other people to play with? And so that was sort of the birth of golf leagues and our golf social leagues. So right now our programming is we have a learning stream, and learning is anything with a coach. So it could be from a private lesson to a group lesson, to an on-course, to a golf school.
Right.
And we have quite a robust corporate event programming now where we run a lot of client hosting events and team building, all with coaching. The next one is sort of our play stream. So that would be the golf leagues. So really having community and women to play with every week. And those ones are magical. It's really a very special, because finding other women to play with is one of the biggest pain points in golf.
Right.
So my heart sort of sets on fire when I see like the friendships that are made and built. And I think that's why I'm so addicted to running our trips too, because you get to spend time with these people for 4 days, 7 days, and not only see their golf improve, but most importantly, see the friendships spark.
Yes.
And so that's our last sort of category is travel and events. So we've run probably about 65 trips around the world to date. Yep. A lot of good stories.
I bet.
A lot of fun. A lot of
stories probably not allowed on the podcast, but
yeah, privately. So much fun.
Yes.
And then, and really, really special way for people to participate. And they're all ranges. So they would be, as close as in Caledon, a TPC for just an overnight, which is a little bit easier for some people to get away, and all the way to, going to Scotland for a week, and kind of everything in between. Hot ones, different ones. So yeah, they're fun.
Scotland's the wet ones. Yeah.
Oh, it can be. We've had very good luck.
Very nice.
I always tell people, pack the raincoat, pack the umbrella, and then it doesn't rain.
And that doesn't rain.
Yeah.
It's good karma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible. So, just give us a stat. How many women have you invited into the game of golf? How many women have you impacted?
We're up to, I think that the number now is about 30,000 women, which
That's incredible.
I'm really proud of. Yeah.
Yes, you should be.
It feels really, really special that, hopefully you've made a little bit of impact. And
yes,
I joke that I used to be like the human CRM because I was everything. I taught every clinic. I put everything on the website. So I really knew the ins and outs of of you and your family and your golf swing and
Right.
and so obviously I'm a little bit more not quite as connected to everybody in every program anymore,
Yes.
but it's just so special when you get to get back in there and teach and connect with their community. It's like the most amazing group of women.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many barriers to women getting in the game. And in some cases, and I would say in many cases, it's them, right? There's this, yes, the fear they talk about, but they built it up in their mind of, well, I can't do that because I don't know. And I'm going to just stay in my comfort zone. And last year you hosted a clinic for the group at Be Uninterrupted, which was amazing. And one of the women that was there, she said that she called in sick when there was a corporate golf tournament because she didn't want to step out there, not wearing the right thing, not doing the right thing, might actually impact her reputation if she didn't do, quote unquote, everything right. And it was great watching that clinic, which was a half-day clinic, just touched on enough where all of a sudden she's like, oh, actually, this isn't as scary as I originally thought. Yeah. So you really are opening doors to people to enjoy such a great game.
That's a great memory. Those are such special moments. I remember actually back to the Starbucks days, one of the things that really propelled me with Iron Lady was that I read a statistic that 81% of women turn down an opportunity to play, not because they don't want to go, but because it's easier. It's easier to call in sick. It's easier to say no to things that feel uncomfortable and scary. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, I can help and I want to help.
Yes.
I want to help people like that just get over the hump and get out there and take a chance and say yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's good. Really good. So that has been your professional pivot.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And now you have a team working for you at Iron Lady. You're in it full time. And now there's another pivot.
Life pivots.
Pivots, yes.
It's interesting because Iron Lady really for a very long time has kind of been my everything. Like as an entrepreneur, I'm sure if there's entrepreneurs listening, like it is a lot. You are always on and you're building something. There's no blueprint for Iron Lady. I'm not buying a franchise and just following the manual of how to do it. And I can't afford to pay anyone to work for me yet. And so really getting the business to a place where it was a business, like it was Iron Lady. It wasn't Lindsay Knowlton's golf school clinics.
Right.
Which it was for a good amount of time when it's just you. And so, for my life, like I had dreamt about having a family and, first of all, there's not a lot of time for dating. There's not a lot of time to think about it. And Iron Lady is my first baby.
Yes.
But the old time starts ticking along and the oven starts to close. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I really don't want to miss the window of being a mom and having a family. But there were a lot of hurdles to get there. One is I can't leave my business because that's just not possible. And I wasn't thinking about having a child on my own. And then I reached this point where I knew that we had an amazing team in place. And so I thought, maybe I can think about this. And then I remember having a conversation with my sister and she was like, having a child on your own doesn't mean you're alone forever. It just means you're actually following the dreams and continuing building the life that you want to have. And somebody is going to meet you along the way that thinks that's awesome. And I was like, whoa, okay. Yeah. And back to the exact same thing happened with Iron Lady where it was like, if I turn X, and for me with this, I was like, if I turn 50 and I look back and I didn't do this because I was scared, was the exact same conversation I had with myself about the business.
Right.
I'm going to have a lot of regret, and a lot of regret with myself just for not leaning in. So I went for it. And, it was really amazing. I became pregnant, and during my pregnancy, my dad passed away.
Oh.
And that was just crazy. And, giving my dad's eulogy at his funeral and celebration of life while I'm sitting there pregnant was just kind of this very interesting time in life, but also really ironically, and looking back, like really special. And he didn't get to meet my daughter, but I feel his spirit with us.
Yes.
And so I ended up, 5 months later, I guess I have this little girl. And it was funny, like in thinking of all these names, you have these list of names, and it's like, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to pick this? And then this one little name popped up, and for every single golf tournament that I played in growing up, my dad was like this like really amazing, supportive parent and human, and supported me, but never pushed me, but encouraged me. It was like he really struck the balance right.
Good for him.
He nailed it. But with his little superstition, he would take a little lucky penny and he'd give it a kiss and he'd put it in my left pocket for good luck. Like every game, I'm telling you, if he wasn't there for the whole tournament, he'd pack 3 pennies in an envelope and send them. And so I was like, well, we've got a name. Yeah. And so she's Penny. So she's incredible. Little lucky Penny. And it's just the greatest gift because I get to still talk about him every day, and his spirit is alive and well, and definitely infused into her in many ways, many ways too. So, it's been a really, first of all, it's the best decision I ever made.
Okay, good. Yes,
ever.
Of course.
I mean, anybody that is a parent, it's Absolutely. Like totally full on and consuming, but it's perfect. And she's been an amazing addition to me, and I think to our community. Our community has showed up for me in all the ways and supporting that. And, one of our Iron Ladies, she's such an amazing person. She moved in with me for a few weeks when I had the baby.
Wow.
She was like, I'm not going to get you a baby gift. My gift is my time. And you have changed my life through Iron Lady. There's no other way I can possibly repay you. So I'm just going to help you with this baby. And she moved right in. And so it was like Modern Family, and so it was hilarious, and it was perfect. And, you can't write the script to this stuff.
No kidding.
And, Penny's been good too, because she's evolved my role in the business. You know, when I would jump in and do everything and want to do everything and show up for every program and clinic and trip, like, I probably don't need to do that. And I probably need to focus my time in different areas. And she's really kind of empowered me to draw the boundary line of like, what is the most important thing that I should be doing? And by the way, that's being a mom, but this is also where I can show up best for the business and show up best for her.
So you have like most people in the golf industry, particularly if you're an entrepreneur in the golf industry, you're working
a lot,
24/7. It feels like, right?
Yeah.
And despite the 7 feet of snow outside, it's a 12-month season now.
Oh yeah.
And so you now have boundaries, right? There's times where you're like, nope, I leave work. I'm not working after whatever it is, 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's a benefit for sure.
Totally. And you know what? She goes to bed at 7 and I flip back on and get what I need to get done. And so it's just been a really amazing sort of different way of looking at my time and how I structure it and prioritizing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's been good.
And so can we talk about your dad for a second?
Oh, of course.
So
Gladly.
he is the reason that you got into golf.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So was he a professional? Was he a golfer? I mean, yes.
He was like just a lover of golf. I mean, he was like, he'd roll his ball over and give himself preferred lies. One day I looked over and he had like teed up his ball in the sand trap, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I can't get there without my driver. And so off he went. Like, he was the most fun person to play with.
So good.
And probably like a 14 handicap. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe lower in his heyday, but just like loved golf. And so we would, watch golf on Sundays together. He got me into it because he wanted a little friend to play with. And so that's sort of, we'd go along, and I just slowly got better. I ended up playing with these young guys. I had a crush on one of them. And so, naturally show up every day.
Yep.
And so he was really the glue for me that made it stick. But it was such a special time. And what an amazing, like, especially as I look back and, towards my dad, the end of his life, like his mobility wasn't so great, but what is so special about golf, it never mattered. He'd take the cart, he's got our bags, and I'd walk right beside him and get my exercise. And, he'd get out and hit, but he wouldn't make it to the green because that was a lot more steps. So who cares? I put it in for him and off we went. Yeah. Like, it's such a special game that really is for life. And we would go for my birthday. He got us like a golf trip and we went to Pinehurst together. So a lot of like, great. Really special way to spend that time together.
Yes.
And, my dad like was so proud of Iron Lady. He would like wear all his Iron Lady gear. Like it was pretty funny. And he would show up at our golf tournament at the end of the season and he was bound and determined he wanted to work the merch table because he was a sales guy. So he was like, he'd come up to me, he goes, the raincoats, they're not moving. I think I need to re-merchandise them a little bit. Like he was just the best. So, just having his like love and his support with that business. And he really was my sounding board for anything, business or life related. So, I miss him in that way, but I know he's always with us. And,
That's amazing. Golf is one of the few sports that I can think of where you can play it your whole life. Mm-hmm. Your ability doesn't matter. Your age, your gender, anything. It actually doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whether you're 90 years old or 9 years old, you can play it for your whole life. And for me, I've found it is the only sport that you can play as a family.
Oh,
so my kids went to golf school, as you always do, golf camp or whatever at the beginning of the summer for years when they were growing up. And then, of course, as teenagers, they're like, this isn't cool anymore. But now that they are through that stage and in their 20s, now all of a sudden they're working at a golf course in the summer. They were, playing with their friends. They're pretty decent golfers and they'll be able to play the game for the rest of their life.
That's amazing.
And it's so good.
Yeah.
So the four of us can go out. They can go play golf with their grandparents, right? Which you can't ski. There's so many things you can't do.
No. It's a really unique sport that way.
It is really amazing.
Yeah. It's, I feel so lucky that somehow, and I was a late bloomer. I didn't really get going till I was about 14. But picked it up quickly and got out and loved it. I always played a bunch of sports in school, so it came fairly naturally.
Yes.
But I feel so lucky to have done it. And you can do it anywhere in the world. It's a pretty special sport.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, and it's interesting you mentioned your dad's the intro to the game. My dad was my intro to the game. We're Scottish, so it's kind of, it's part of the deal, right? Yeah. But he traveled for work all the time. He would leave on Monday morning, come back Friday night, and then in the summer, he would go and play golf on Saturdays. And so at 15, I was a late bloomer like you. I said, well, if I'm ever going to see my dad, I better go and learn to play golf.
Oh, wow.
And so we struck a deal, which was he would get me a membership at the golf course where he was at, and I would go and join the junior clinics, which were Wednesday and Thursday mornings. And there was like 75 juniors out there. It was only 3 girls, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Once again, found a guy.
Yeah, always.
There's always a guy. And so I started playing golf and I thought it was great. And the guy that I was interested in, dated for a short while, was a golf professional's son who went on a golf scholarship.
Oh, wow.
And so I was at the golf course 6 days a week, and that really sparked my career and my love for the game. And,
that's so
But it all
neat.
started with my dad.
I
know, right?
Yeah, that's really special.
It is so special.
Yeah. And it does take, for us, we're lucky that we had a parent when we were young that encouraged us and welcomed us. And, I see a lot now, a lot of people, specifically women because of, where I'm at in my career, men too, people that haven't had the chance to be introduced
Yes.
to golf yet through a parent, through whatever it is. And I really hope that maybe Iron Lady can be a part of their welcoming journey into the game if they haven't played it yet. And I see it more and more where I just want to help earlier and earlier. So we started doing some programs for universities. Then we started doing some stuff in high schools.
Okay.
Where, you know, even just that exposure early on and getting people a little bit comfortable and trying it out for the first time, I think is so important.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's such a universal sport.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you have Iron Lady as one child and you have
Iron
Penny.
Baby.
Iron Baby is the other.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
Iron spouse. No, I'm kidding. Iron hubby. So, you know, I'm on a mission now.
Yes.
So, obviously, hopefully raising first and foremost an amazing little girl.
Yes.
And building purpose and legacy through Iron Lady and showing her, you know, it's pretty neat. And I really want to be a great example for her. And on the Iron Lady front, I mean, I feel like we're just getting started.
Yes.
I'm definitely really motivated and just on a mission to keep growing the game and this community for women in golf. Definitely it's happening across Canada. So even this year, we got a lot of really exciting programs set for across the country this year.
So good.
Which is so exciting. I'm just over the moon, and we've got wonderful partnerships with different corporate partners and organizations to really help bring us to these new communities, which is tremendously helpful. And beyond, I'm really excited. I'm going to be partnering with this incredible woman in the US. And we're going to be actually doing next year a co-trip where it's going to be sort of like a team trip.
Yes.
So we are going to do Canada versus the US. And she's got a really, really great community of women down there. So we're kind of excited to bring that together as an opportunity and then slowly penetrate as far as we can, hopefully down south at some point into more programming. But, you know, I think for now it's focusing in Canada, growing our footprint here.
Yes.
There's so much that can be done. One of the things I've realized too is like the person golfing in Mississauga wants a different course or proximity to the person in like East Oakville.
Yes.
Right? Like, or whatever that is. So you can actually get so micro community focused, even just here in Ontario.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of different product and program evolutions that we're seeing this year. So we've launched a new flexible league model, a little different from our traditional one. So it's more of just a smaller upfront membership fee and then a pay as you play.
Perfect.
Yep. We're launching a even more robust travel program. So we've got more and more trips that are launching. We just actually released, we've got Kelowna, we've got Bermuda, we've got TPC coming. We're going to launch a nice warm November trip too. But we've also built out now with a travel partner where you can put together your own. So if you have a foursome that you'd like to go away with, your own sort of custom itinerary that would be stamp of approval, Iron Lady at a destination we know is safe and trust and is wonderful. So you don't have to go on one of our hosted trips if you've got a group already.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, look, if you ever need a caddy,
always,
and you happen to be going to Ireland or Scotland, I'm in.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
I can carry a golf bag. I'm fine.
Totally. Anytime.
That's great. Yeah. Awesome. So during your two monumental pivots, you have probably learned a lot about yourself. So what have you learned about yourself, your community? Certainly you spoke a little bit about community, but through all of this.
I think one of the things I know I probably tend to do is before these big moments strike or happen or have to make the decision on them, I make a little bit of a mountain out of the molehill or whatever the saying is. And in my head, you go to these damage control places and think of all the things that are going to go sideways and why you can't do it. I mean, I really did it with, I did it with both. It took me forever with Iron Lady to finally take the plunge. Like, am I going to fall on my face? Will I not pay my bills? I'm going to have to sell my house. Like all of the things, when in reality, if you can just put one foot in front of the other, like I think that was the big learning for me is like one step. like you can do this.
Yes.
And when you focus your energy towards that, amazing things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And like the universe has your back without getting too woo-woo. Like
Right.
really.
Get it.
It does. And I mean, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But even with Penny, oh my gosh, like I was like, I don't think I can do this.
Yeah.
I don't think and I remember thinking to myself, even with the fertility clinic, I was like, well, I think I'm just going to cancel my appointment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to go. And then finally that morning, okay, I guess I'll go. I'll walk in the direction of it. And it was that crazy. And I was like, okay, one foot in front of the other. Okay, I don't think I'm going to go in. I'm going to like get there, but I'm not going to go in. Okay, I guess I'll go in. I'll go up the elevator and I'll get there. So I could just see myself going through these motions where it felt so paralyzing with fear. But then I was like, okay, one step, like I'll start with the blood work or whatever, you know, you had to do, ultrasound. And then it was like, okay, I can do this. But how am I going to do this? And how am I going to do it without a partner? That was really loomed on me.
That's a heavy one.
And I think what I realized, and it's funny, like even showing up at Christmas parties this year and people are like, how do you do it? And I sort of get a bit of a giggle, but I'm like, I don't know otherwise.
Yes.
So like, I don't really know what I'm missing or not missing.
Right.
I just do it. So I don't have anyone to roll over in the morning and be like, your turn to get up.
Yeah.
I just get up.
Right.
And I just do it. And I have an amazing, you know, family, and I have great supportive friends and community that, they pitch in and help. Like when there was 8 feet of snow outside and I didn't have a parking spot, like my sister drove Penny and I to her school yesterday morning and we did it and we giggled and, you know, that was like what we did. But you just go day by day. And that was, if I thought too much about all of those moments in advance, I wouldn't have done it.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it is daunting. Mm-hmm. It is, and it is hard. It's really hard being a single parent.
Yeah.
But when there is no option,
you just don't know. You just do it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I've felt like it's hard.
Okay.
I feel like it's consuming.
Yes.
So there's no off button. Like at the end of the night, if I just wanted to go for a walk around the block just to get some fresh air, like I can't. No. I mean, I might get child services might get called, but so you go let the garbage out inside the front door or whatever, or you figure out another way to do it. Mm-hmm. And you just build. What I've done is I've just sort of built my life, A, to be as hopefully simple as possible.
Yes.
And B, just to make it work for me.
Yeah.
And as much as I possibly can. So, we're just doing it. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know otherwise. So it's probably good.
It's probably good.
Yeah.
This is the one time that ignorance is bliss. It's perfect.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
All right. My last question for you is, what would be your words of wisdom for the audience?
Probably something along the lines of what helped me when I was in paralysis, analysis or paralysis by analysis.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really believe that like one little step of something forward, like forward movement is what gets you to that next spot. And you can't really, like, I couldn't have thought this business up on day one. I couldn't have had the courage to leap and become an entrepreneur wholeheartedly with this whole business on day one. Like everything was a little step. And same thing with having a child. Like I could have spooked myself right out of this, and I did for a while. But by taking one small step forward, you'll get to that next destination.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Well, it's been amazing to watch everything you've done with Iron Lady.
Thank you.
And congratulations on Penny.
Thanks.
And you have a lot planned for the growth of Iron Lady. And I can tell you, I will be sitting here on the sidelines cheering you on as hard as I can and wishing you nothing but the best. It's been amazing what you've built and the amount of lives that you have touched and those that you have changed, quite honestly, is incredible. And you're building a legacy. You continue to build it, and now you're going to have another legacy with Penny. So congratulations on everything. And we're going to be cheering you on as you take on the next decade and whatever life holds for you.
Well, thank you for all your support. It means a lot. And for having me here today to share all the stories. So thank you.
So good. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Lindsay is such an incredible woman and a game changer with what she has built with Iron Lady. She continues to impact so many lives by breaking down barriers for women to get into golf. For her to take the leap of faith into motherhood is inspiring as she continues to share her legacy with her daughter, Penny. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone you care about, and be sure to subscribe so you can continue to hear more pivotal stories involving one question, one turning point, one powerful story. I'll see you next week with another guest on the Leslie Hawkins podcast.